You might remember about 3 years ago, I bought a Porsche Boxster and a Porsche Cayenne. Now the Porsche Boxster, although it was riding for a little bit, it got parked up and pushed to the side. You see, sometimes life gets busy. I started a two-row car sharing business, started another business, and my dreams of restoring this Porsche Boxster got pushed to the side pretty quickly. And as you can tell from the paint and the damage, this has been in my backyard, out in the sun, not covered, and right in the line of sight of my kids' soccer balls. So it's taken a bit of damage. And just like any convertible, this should not be left in the sun. This one was outside, and you can see right here, yes, it rains a lot in North Queensland, and that is a gap straight into the car. Now, one thing I did tell my kids, that if you do open the doors, do not close the door because the window won't go up because the battery wasn't connected. So hats off to them, they didn't close the doors. I didn't ask them to open them either, but they opened them and they left them open, and that caused a problem. See, by closing the door with the battery not on, the window won't go down to go up, so it would have smashed the glass. So they left the door open, about like this. And as you can see inside, this was filled with water, not only from the back, but from the door open as well. And surprisingly, it still works. Now we can see here a couple of parts, the light pieces, the carpet. It's showing some wear. I did manage to find some new wheel center caps, which is nice. Although there's only 3 of them, unfortunately. Another thing from being in the weather, I'm not sure if you can see, but it has all peeled off. You can see it peeling off there. I have to do a bit of a rehab on that. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of money. I just want to get this car driving and get to experience it again. Now you can see I pulled one seat out at home because I had to get the water out before the whole car got rusty. But I've still got one there. Now, one major issue is obviously the paint. You can see it's rusting underneath. I think this was a pretty ordinary paint job previously as well, but I don't think sitting in the 42 degree heat and taking on the elements has helped at any stage. I did polish a small section here this morning, and it actually came out pretty nice. I might have something to save there, but that's the rest of the bonnet. Headlights need a polish, of course, and I'm probably going to need to vacuum out some of the leaves there as well. I was just about to say, can you believe that the battery is still charged? And then I went to put the seat back, nothing happened, put my key in, and yeah, flat battery. There's not much light here, but as you can see, this seat, all the foam is busted. The leather off the steering wheel is wrecked, but ultimately there's not a lot to this car. Now, the best thing about the Porsche Boxster is there isn't much to it. Besides the interior, I could pull the seats out, pull the console out, clean it up, get it looking respectable again, shampoo the carpets. I'll pull the seats, all the foam's destroyed. I'll see if I can go online and buy a foam seat base maybe. That'll have to save me messing around with that. And give it a cut polish, give it a wash. I've got a new top for it already. I could put the top on. And we have ourselves a driving Porsche. But the big issue lies in the gearbox. The gearbox is pretty much destroyed. I took it into a mechanic shop to have a look, and he said, I don't want to touch it, just buy another one. And of course, sitting outside, rusty brake rotors. So I'll change the rotors, the pads. I'll paint strip these wheels. It's got like a black plastic dip on it maybe. Oh, that just peels off. Interesting. And we'll see if we can just get this back looking half decent, but first job to do is to give it a wash. So let's do that. But first things first, we got to get this thing a jump start. So I have the Giraffe Tools pressure washer wall mounted I like it. The only thing I wish they would have is a swivel on that so it wouldn't keep rolling into itself. A swivel on the connection would be perfect. Well, it is now looking somewhat half decent now. It's had a bit of a bath. So I think the first thing we're going to do is get into the inside, pull the other seat out, pull that center console out, dismantle this, clean up the whole inside, and then we're going to start piecing it back together. And from a mechanical point of view, I think we'll do the soft top, we'll change the top, and then we're going to need to get a gearbox. I found a few, they're about 3,500, and it's a lot of money, but I really want to drive this car, so I'll have to order the gearbox, get that installed, and then the brake pads, the brake rotors, and then we can pretty much drive this thing. Now before I start the inside, I should give ourselves some more room and pull the top down. I'll pull the top down. We've got some light in here now. We can actually see what's going on. So we're going to pull this out, pull this out, pull that seat out, start giving it a clean, tidy, shampoo the seats, and get the interior looking somewhat functional. That transmission fluid. Excellent.
No time like now. No time like now. No time like now. No time like now.
And of course this had to happen. As I was pulling the seat switch out, I snapped it. I snapped that piece of plastic off. It's gonna happen, right? But really not much to this car. Carpet, center console, you can see that water's gotten in. A little bit rusty there, we'll get all that cleaned up. Pull this whole interior out and get working. Now the seat cover, I haven't pulled this off ever. And I imagine the foam is pretty rank. Ooh. Yeah, that is not good. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find a seat base maybe, because I don't want to be messing around with that foam. That leather's pretty torn up. That's almost near impossible to fix, if I'm being honest. So I can either put a seat cover on it, tidy it up and put a seat cover on it, or get it upholstered maybe, or let's see if I can buy another one, which I don't think is going to be cheap either.
Well, I want the world. Tell me how long that takes. I can cut my patience short or give them some more gowns. I don't even want the crown. I just want a peace of mind. There's no time like now. There's no time like now. There's no time like now. There's no time like now.
Now, again, I'm no mechanic, I've never done this before, I'm just pulling things off everywhere, and hopefully it's the right thing to do. We're about to find out.
They say anything's worth having is worth the wait. Well, I want the world. Tell me how long that takes. They say anything's worth having is worth the wait.
Okay, so I've got the window switches out. I've pulled all of this out. There was 2 screws in the back here, which I've taken out, but it's still stuck, and looks like there's 2 screws on each side, but they're behind this leather piece, which doesn't move, so I'm sort of stuck. Now the automatic switch, this one just pulls off a little spring here, and there's going to be a little clip inside there, and that little clip is going to allow us to pop that off. But I probably need a better system for all these parts, because throwing them all like this probably isn't great. progress. We've cleaned the outside, we've pulled apart most of the inside. I'm just going to get that center console pulled out. We've got the seats out now. I'll get onto an upholsterer and see if we can get the seats repaired so we can get them back in. I could get aftermarket seats, I guess, but I have to rewire them maybe. I'm not totally sure. Again, I've never done anything like this before. I just wanted to, and here we are. I think I've picked a pretty easy one to do, the Porsche Boxster. There's not much to it, but if you haven't done it before like me, there's going to be a bit of time involved, which is the case. So I've pulled the center console out. Just as I finished that one, I worked out how to get the gear selector off and ended up pulling out the center console piece and this mess you can see down here. The gear selector, so that's the button. Actually pretty easy. The clip just pulled off. There's a little spring in there and one little clip and it fell out. And as I pulled it out, of course I dropped it somewhere. I have no idea where it is, so that's going to be a problem later. But in the meantime, I'm going to get all this cleaned up. Get this piece, maybe might rewrap it, just to freshen that up, clean up that leather, and get this looking a bit nicer, and then put it all back together.